I'm sitting here looking at OBS, just double checking, making sure everything looks fine.
Mm-hmm.
It should be fine. If not, it's just gonna be fucking weird. Also, I have to pee. I keep dragging my mouse over this thing. Like, oh, I just keep dragging my mouse over. I need to stop. I gotta stop. I gotta realize that everything in this zone, this is a no-touch zone. I can't touch it.
What are you talking about?
My main monitor, because I'm recording.
Capture?
Yeah, I'm recording.
You don't
want to
see the mouse. You don't want to see the mouse like moving around.
Yeah, everybody's already seen the mouse and me drag OBS across.
You can set it so that it doesn't record your mouse. I think in OBS, I think there's an option for that.
Screw all that. We've been clicking boxes and checking marks and all that for like an hour and a half now. I'm done. I'm done with that stuff. This is what it's gonna be, okay? If it ain't janky, then it ain't the Babbling Bros. You understand me? If it ain't janky, homie, it ain't us.
I mean, there's a certain degree of truth to that. We're not exactly like well polished or anything. We just started.
God, I wish I was fucking polished. Whew, I wish somebody would come polish me. You said it.
How do I book a flight?
How do I book a flight? Whoa.
I'll come polish you.
I'll be honest with you. Thursday's the best day to fly. Do you like flying? Are you a fly boy? Are you indifferent to it? Are you afraid of it?
I'm fairly indifferent. I'm not afraid of it, but like, here's the thing. Like, I'm not a small person. You know, I'm not like a gigantic person, but I'm not a small person. So I can really only afford to fly coach. Is that what it's called? The cheap seats?
Okay.
So it's like flying like this with, you know, sweaty guy number 1 and sweaty guy number 2 next to me.
Okay.
It's not necessarily an enjoyable experience, but I mean, the furthest I've flown is east to west coast, you know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I've been on a plane for 16 hours before.
Military?
Yeah. Well, when we were going overseas, like we went from North Carolina to Dublin. And then from Dublin, we spent like an hour in Dublin, or an hour and a half in Dublin, and went from Dublin to Kuwait. And we spent 2 weeks there, and then took a transport plane from Kuwait to Iraq. And that was a fucking nightmare, because we literally sat on the tarmac in Kuwait, and it was like 150 degrees. And a military transport does not have air conditioning in it, or the air conditioning was broke, or something like that. It was a nightmare, and we were all like flak and Kevlar, like people were passing out. Like, I think I blacked out from a heat stroke, but I just told myself, I was like, I'm just gonna take a nap. I'm pretty sure I just blacked out from it, but nobody knew, right? Like, when it gets to a certain temperature, your brain starts to melt, and reality just like does wild stuff.
I can't imagine that kind of heat.
Really? I mean,
yeah.
just go open your oven. Just turn your oven on and just open it and jump inside of it. You know when you pull a pizza out of your oven and you just get the heat wave?
Yeah, I've been near a bonfire as well. I imagine
that's what it feels
similar.
like.
But I'm not just like stuck in it where I can't escape it. True. It's just like all over me. Like the closest I've been to that is like Florida. We talked about Florida before.
Florida's close. Summertime Florida. Yeah, it's pretty close but it's humid in Florida, so it's wet.
I would like to like retcon my comment about Florida where I said I would never go there again is untrue in the sense that I do have family that live there, so I would go there to visit them. But that would be the only way that I will go to Florida ever again.
Are they Are they North or South Florida? Because there's a difference.
Fort Lauderdale area. Do you know where? I don't know where that is.
Is that mid Florida? I feel like that's mid Florida. I don't know. I can't remember.
I mean, I could literally look up a
is
map
it near
right
like
now,
Miami
but I'm
and
not gonna.
Miami.
I think it's fairly close to Miami. We never went to Miami when we visited, but I think it was close.
Well, so I had family in Florida, but that was South Florida. Like my grandparents had a house down there, but it was South Florida. So like it was down in the swamps and stuff like that. Like it was like literally at the end, like the second to last stop of the turnpike in Florida. Like it's down at the bottom. Like the turnpike goes down the whole length. It's the vein that goes down the whole length of America's penis. What? That's what it is. Florida.
Why did
Florida
I feel like
is,
it was going there?
Florida is America's donger, man. Like, why do you think it's so like? What?
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. It gets and it's hot and sweaty like a donger.
And it's hot and sweaty, and it's just laying there. It's just there.
It's just stuck to my leg.
It's just stuck to it. Oh no. Oh no. It's just Velcroed in. Oh my gosh. So you would go to Florida. You would make it to Florida and be like, I chose this, and be okay with it.
If I was visiting the family that lived there.
Even what if say there was like a gaming convention and that happens to be in Tampa yearly, and that's probably the only convention I would go to as well because it's close enough for me to drive. Would you go then?
Are you proposing something to me?
No, I'm a married man.
Not that kind of proposal. What gaming conventions in Tampa?
It's a GCX. It started as Guardian Con, and for like Destiny 2 and stuff like that. It was basically like a bunch of Destiny 2 content creators all got together because the big ones were based in Tampa, so they all got together, right? And then it turned into GCX because they wanted to break away from just being like centered around one video game. They wanted to incorporate a whole bunch of other different video games and stuff like that. And they do that, and they raise money for like St. Jude charity or Children's Hospital and stuff like that. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say all proceeds anymore. It used to be all proceeds, but I think the bulk proceeds go to St. Jude's, and then to just like fund the actual event. Like they're not paying people. They're not paying people like, oh, we need you to appear and yada yada. Maybe they do. I don't know. Because I know like the Big Show was there one year. And he was just like there to hang out. Like he was just like normal dude guy in the audience. Right. You just have this like huge fucking dude, right? Like he's like literally 7 foot tall. He's a mountain among people. Like he stands out like a sore thumb. Yeah, GCX is what it's called.
GCX.
I think it was in Tampa. It's at a golf course. Man, you're gonna make me sit here and move my mouse across the screen again. God dang it.
No.
Yeah. Here, see, you like this?
See,
is this what you wanted? You got a mouse hand on your face now. This is what you get. Yeah, that's right. It's picking your nose. Nope. All right, I'm done. You can stop that now. You can stop. That's weird.
That's why you have to switch it from display capture to window capture, because then you can specifically capture the window of Discord and still use your computer.
But then I won't be able to like manipulate your face.
What are you doing to my face?
Yeah, no, it's GCX event. Just type in GCX event, and then it's it's gcxevent.com.
Oh. Okay. God.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's freaking bright, dude. There's no reason for this.
Let's make our website white and bright. Like you would think a freaking website for a gaming convention would know that everyone wants dark mode.
Yeah, dark mode is the way. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be going to this, but it's at a like a golfing resort thing. So there's like this place is freaking huge. Like that is what this hotel specializes in, is like convention events and shit in Tampa. I think is where it's at. I don't know. There's not a... What does this button do? That's weird. What does this button do? Like the buttons at the top left or right of the screen are so small. Like they're just so damn small. That's their Twitter. Like I can't see the symbols in them. You know what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? Freaking, I think that's a terrible design choice.
Oh God. So if you went, would you go for one? Would you go for one day, or would you go for like the weekend?
Well, me and Sarah usually turn it into like a vacation moment. So we'll usually go down for like the whole week. We'll go down for like the week before.
It's August 4th through August 5th. It's only 2 days.
Yeah, it's a 2-day convention, but we'll go down like that week and then just come back on like a Monday. Like we just go down to Florida for a week and then Saturday and Sunday or whatever days it usually is, Friday and Saturday or whatever, we'll just go hang out at that convention and see all our friends and stuff because they all go to it too. Or a majority of our friends.
There's Friday pass, Saturday pass, weekend pass, and then a premium pass, which I don't know what you get in the premium pass because it doesn't say.
Where are you seeing this?
I went to purchase tickets. I wanted to see how much they charge.
Where do you even see that?
It's on the main page. Whatever reason you're not seeing buttons properly. It's literally like on the freaking page. It
the
says,
one that
get
says
tickets
get
now.
Oh my gosh. All right. Yes, I see it now.
If you forget
Dude,
how to
like
read.
I think I'm like blind to certain things, right? Like I'm blind to, like if it looks like it's a thing that's supposed to get my attention, I don't see it. Because I'm so used to looking at shit like that and like social media and YouTube bullshit and video games. Everything's like, hey, get this, do this, click on that, blah, 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 blah. I'm so used to seeing all that shit, like my brain just like tunes it the fuck out.
Damn.
Like, so if you have a button that's just like, click on this fucking thing right here, I'll never see it. Because I'm just like, nah, no. I guess that's just how contrarian I am. It looks like it's just a 2-day event. August 4th, yeah, that's just probably a Friday and Saturday. That's probably when they could just book it. I don't know why there's not a Sunday thing, but I'm pretty sure everybody will go down for at least Friday and Saturday. They'll take Friday off, have Saturday, and then fly back home Sunday. Is probably why they would do something like that. I mean, that makes the most sense. Does it not? Don't give me a weird face. I'm gonna cut that out. You're just not gonna be on screen.
They should not have this much power. I have made a terrible mistake.
You have. I have, by the power of Grayskull, I have the power.
Okay, so are you actually going to go to this event this year?
In 2023. Yeah, 2023. Yeah, probably. That might be a reason for you to go visit your family. You can go stay with your family if they're close enough to Tampa. I don't know. Or Miami.
Yeah,
which one has Disney in it? Disneyland. Is it Miami? I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. I thought it was Orlando.
It might. Yeah, that's true. It could be Orlando.
I don't know. I've never been.
I forgot about it. Yeah, I don't know.
I've never been to Disneyland or Disney World.
Dude, my parents got me. They were just like, hey, you're 1 year old. Let's go to Disney World. Or Disney, whichever one's in Florida. They went when I was one. They took me when I was 1 year old. And I'm just like, what? Why?
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 Why would anyone do that?
And they took
I
picture
think my parents
proof
did
of
the
it.
same thing.
Yeah, they took like picture proof. That way, like, I can't be like, nah, you're just making that up. You're like, no, we have the pictures. There's you as a little baby.
Prove that's me. Doesn't look anything like me.
Dude, my parents just went to Disneyland and just grabbed random babies and took pictures of them.
That would be the ultimate troll.
Yeah, that would be like, if I kind of want to do that now, even though I'm probably never gonna have a kid. Like me and my wife have planned not to have a child or anything. I'm just gonna go to Disneyland, and be like, can I have a picture with your baby for like future evidence if I ever have a baby. That way I could say I brought them to Disneyland when they were little. That way I don't have to take them again.
You're gonna have to roll a natural 20 on that persuasion.
Dude, that
ain't
would be
no one
so
in their
funny.
right mind gonna hand you a baby.
A parent would probably be like, "Oh, this is a good one. We'll let this slide."
Maybe, if depending on the parent.
You have to stay within running distance of it.
Oh man, I don't know. They'll either take it really well and play along, or they're gonna call security.
Or they'll just be like, no, not gonna happen. That, or I'll just find a really old man.
Look at this baby.
Look at this baby I found. I'll just.
It's an old dude. He's like, oh, where
I'll
am
just
I?
find
Where
a-
am I?
We'll go in the wintertime and I'll just find a really old man in a wheelchair, just like all scrunched up like this. And I'll take a picture of him and I'll Photoshop him and shrink him down to the size of a baby. Would that be great?
It would.
And then I'll take a picture of me like standing here like this, and then I'll just put the baby on top of me.
Yeah. See, that's how parents troll their kids in the future.
Yeah.
They use freaking Photoshop and.
Well, see, they're a
Stuff
kid.
like that.
They're not gonna know that kind of. They're not gonna know Photoshop. They'll know it when they look at it back when they're like, when they're like a young adult, and they're like, "Where's that picture that you took of us at Disney World when I was like 2 years old or 1 year old?" And I was like, "Here it is." And I'm like, "Bitch, that's Photoshop. Get that shit out of here." They'll look at it and just know instantly, right?
Like, I can't believe you done this.
I
I
was
can't
like,
believe you done that.
I'm like, have you seen the tickets for Disney World? That shit's freaking expensive. Now you know why I've done this. Look up tickets for Disney World right now. Do
There's
it.
probably a ton. Tickets. Disneyland or Disney World?
Whichever one's in Florida.
Let's do World, because I think World's in Florida.
Whichever one is
Yeah,
in
Orlando, Florida. See, I was right.
Yeah. So World's
And I've
in
never
Florida?
even been.
Okay.
God, Jesus. Their website sucks too. Parks and tickets. Let's see here. All tickets and passes. God fucking damn it. Why? It's like a freaking nuclear explosion every time I change the freaking web page.
Maybe you might need to turn the brightness on your monitor down. But I can't say anything. I do HDR. Oh shit. I just realized I'm recording this on an HDR monitor. If it doesn't come out right, I gotta color correct the whole thing. No. That, or there just may not be video to this podcast.
Oh my god. You and your goddamn HDR
Freaking
bullshit.
HDR, dude. I don't know. I think DaVinci Resolve is really good at color correction, right? That's like their claim to fame.
Possibly. I've never really used it.
You're the DaVinci, dude.
Yeah, but I use like the bare minimum of what that software is capable of. It's $109 a day.
A day? And does that include room and board, or is that just the ticket?
No.
It's $109 a day per person.
So like, there's the Walt Disney World annual pass, which is $1,300. There's the theme park tickets, one park per day, or park hopper. I don't know what any of that means. Ages 10 plus, starting from $109 for a 1 day ticket. And then there's like resort packages and stuff like that, which I'm not going to click on and go into because there's probably all kinds of stuff and I just don't care. But yeah, it ain't cheap.
And I just don't care.
It's too bright.
It's too bright and it's too expensive. The
When
more
it comes down
expensive it
to it,
is,
it's just-
the brighter it gets. Dude,
Yeah,
this
that's
is great.
expensive. No wonder I've never been there.
Yeah. It sounds like it.
Yeah.
$1,300 a year. But if you go
If you go a lot, I guess.
if you go
or if
12
live
days
there,
a year, yeah, if you go 12 days if you go to Disney World 2 weeks out of the year, the annual pass pays for itself.
right?
It's
but
roughly the same price.
Unless you live there, you're paying for a plane ticket every time.
Does the
So-
annual pass call? Yeah, you pay for travel there. That's the thing.
Yeah. So unless you like live in Florida and you're like, hey, you know, like it's in our backyard, I'm gonna spend $1,300 and I'm just gonna go there on the weekends because it's in my backyard. Why wouldn't I? You know, I love their Chewbacca Cheetos filet that they have at the Star Wars exhibit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Never been there, so I don't know. But yeah, other than that, not worth it. I'm sorry. And then you have to wait in line. Am I just sounding like an old person? Like, ew.
You sound like a boomer.
I hate, no, why is that a boomer thing? Waiting in lines is the worst thing you can do in your life.
Well, you don't
What a
wait in line if you get the express pass.
Oh, there's another $6 billion in your down the drain.
I need you to go look that up right now.
Nope.
Go back to their
Nope.
website.
Hell no, I don't need a tan.
I want you to burn your retinas out right now. I think I might edit in like the an epic like classical
Explosion.
No, like music when you open that website. It's like
Please do. Because I want to share with you a video that I just saw on Twitter that I think you'd find amusing, and I think maybe people would find it amusing as well.
Okay.
Has nothing to do with anything we've been talking about. I'm throwing a monkey wrench in everything.
Are we going tangential, bro?
Maybe a little bit.
Are you powering up like Dragon? And I gotta be like, oh, he's going tangential. Right? Like, maybe. No.
I mean, it's just a cat video, so I mean, how tangential is that actually?
Like, this is way too much stuff for a cat video. Like, all right, I'm opening my browser. Are we watching it together? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh shit!
What if your cats did that to your shit? Or cat? You have more than one cat, or just one? You have two cats, right?
I've got two cats. I think I would just have disappointed dad face. I would just be like,
oh no.
Well, that just happened. This is normal. This is my normal now.
I'm so glad my cat doesn't do stuff like that. He doesn't like jump around like acrobatically on everything. But he is getting a little chonkers too because he's an inside domesticated cat. He's not as dimbly or bimbly.
Oh my gosh, dude! I'm just watching this cat wreck like $4,000 right there, just
right,
just over and over.
That's a Mac computer or whatever.
Yeah,
and
yeah, no, that's
a
like
laptop.
an iMac, yeah. There's a laptop tied to it. Yeah, there's either that's. I don't think that's an all-in-one. Maybe it could be an all-in-one, but yeah, just all that shit just got thrown on the ground.
Yeah, it's either a laptop or like a tablet with a keyboard or something. Maybe.
No,
I don't know.
That's their MacBook that they have tied to an all-in-one.
To the monitor.
Yeah.
Huh.
But like the monitor is an all-in-one PC, I think, maybe.
I believe you're correct. I don't understand.
God, that's
Mac,
so expensive.
But
that is so
expensive.
freaking expensive, dude. Oh my gosh.
The cat is just like,
just
I'm going
it.
for it. He's
You
trying to
hate to
ride
see
that like a bull.
Yeah,
it
I
does
know.
not last for 8 seconds.
Oh my gosh.
I figured you'd get a kick out of that analogy or that metaphor. Is it analogy or is it a metaphor? I can't. My brain is not working.
Are you talking
I just
about the ride the bull comment?
Yes.
That's an analogy.
Okay.
Because
I was right the first time.
It's applying context from a similar statement, I believe. So those are analogies. When you use one thing, one scenario to explain the context of another scenario, that's an analogy.
Damn, did you just read that from a dictionary?
No, that's fucking...
You're just a smart son of a bitch, aren't you?
It's in my brain, bro. No, I feel like that's the definition of it. Check me. Is that a definition of it?
I'm not gonna check it because it was so good.
What?
I don't need to check it.
I'm checking it now.
Nope, don't do it. I'm hacking you right now if you do. You've doxed yourself too many times in front of me, and now I know your secrets, and I will initiate the Matrix hacking mode.
Dude, that
right
moment when
meow.
you're trying to like remember how to spell analogy. Like, does it have two ends? Does it?
Is it spelled analology?
Maybe. It is. All right, so the definition of analogy, according to DuckDuckGo search, is a similarity in some respects between things that are otherwise dissimilar. A comparison based on such similarity, correspondence in function or position between organs of dissimilar evolutionary origin or structure. The fuck is that third one?
I don't know.
Why is analogy now a biological phrase? Maybe that's like some old stuff. I don't know.
You got me, dude.
Maybe that's where the word anal comes from.
Analology. It's the study of anus. Or anals.
Anal. He said anal. You never watched Beavis and Butthead. I could already tell. I could already tell. You don't even have to say it. I could already tell. You don't watch Golden Girls. You don't watch friggin' Bob's Burgers. You don't watch Beavis and Butthead.
I wasn't allowed to watch Beavis and Butthead. And
Also,
by
it
the
was
time
on
I became an
Nickelodeon.
adult, didn't have Nickelodeon.
Yeah, it was like
Nickelodeon was cable. We didn't have cable. We had basic channels.
I missed out on a bunch of Nickelodeon shows. Like, I had basic cable. When we stole basic cable, like, we didn't steal the good shit. We just had basic, right? So like, I pretty much never got to watch Nickelodeon because it was on the like paid packages and stuff like that. So.
Same. The only thing I can think of that I watched outside of my childhood, like as I became an adult and was able to watch stuff and search for stuff on the internet to find, and I think it was Nickelodeon, was Ren and Stimpy. Was that Nickelodeon?
Yeah, that was Nickelodeon.
That's like the only thing, because it's so bizarre and weird that.
Where did you find it?
I don't remember.
Oh, I will say that I think one of my friends, Geeky, Geeky said she saw Babylon 5 on HBO Max or whatever. So if you have HBO and you want to watch Babylon 5, go watch it. Even though I know you haven't watched Are You Being Served yet?
Correct. I can't believe you.
Dude, just click on that link I gave you. Just click on it, like, at some point when you have 30 minutes to burn. And just have a laugh.
I will try to remember. That's the best I can do, man. I will try to remember.
Okay, whatever. But yeah, if you wanted to watch Babylon 5 again, I think I might watch it again. It's been a while.
I can't say that I would watch it again because I have watched some, because I was an old buddy of mine that I hung out with ages ago used to have like the entire collection.
The box set.
I was like borrowing them at one point, but I think I started watching it, but then got doing other things, and then I had it too long, and he wanted them back, so I gave them back and never got to finish it.
Well, that sucks.
It's I don't blame him. It was it's like one of his prized possessions,
Yeah, like
he didn't want him to get lost.
True. He was one of those nerds that has a box set of Babylon 5. No judgment or nothing, but
I've got some pretty decent box sets.
Of what?
I've got like the Battlestar Galactica, the new one. I got all the Lost series, which is one of my favorite TV series of all time.
I've never watched
Lost.
that. I've never seen that.
Can't believe I did it.
Sorry, I'm a cultured individual. I haven't seen Lost.
Heathen. Fucking heathen.
You heathen, you. Oh my gosh.
I've got Band of Brothers.
Dude, that's a great series. Oh my god,
great,
so good.
Great frigging series. I got tons of Lord of the Rings. obviously. Extended edition, obviously.
You got the OG like Star Wars extended cut, like the OG3 episode 4, 5, and 6, where George Lucas was like, with the state of technology, I could add scenes into this thing that I've always wanted to be here. Right? He added like the thing like going and Tatooine and like that was it.
Yeah, I remember that. No. But before my childhood home burned down.
Holy shit! Did you burn your house down when you was a kid?
No, no. This happened in 2020.
So you went like back and burned down your house. Holy shit, dude!
No.
Let's unpack this. Hold on a second.
It was just
sorry. I keep crossing my arms. It's cold in here.
Old piece of shit mobile home that we grew up in that had really crappy wiring that thankfully didn't burn down with my dad inside or my dog.
Okay. So your family was still living there at the time?
Well, my dad was.
Okay.
And my dog, who lived with my dad.
Okay.
But yeah, I remember we had tons of we had the freaking original OG VHS original Star Wars.
Yeah. See, we had that
like theatrical.
Yeah, we had that, and then the it's like, oh, George Lucas director's cut extended fucking edition.
Yeah, I remember the special editions.
Yeah, like that came out, and my dad was like, I gotta have this. I'm just like, Dad, we already have.
But that's the thing. Like at the time when that came out, like we hadn't had any new Star Wars since the original movies.
True. Yeah,
and I think that was like George Lucas's master freaking plan was to like make everyone want more for like 15, 20 years and not give anything and then just do whatever he wanted. And the special edition versions was one, and then the prequels was the next thing.
True. Yeah. I mean, it could be that. It could be, that could have been his master plan.
Because, like, I remember special edition came out, and I was like, "This is freaking awesome!"
What?
And then later, I'm like, "This is bullshit. I don't want this." Same thing with like the prequels. I was like, "Oh, this is amazing! It's new Star Wars. Oh, I just came. You know, like this is amazing."
Like, oh my god, he said he hated sand.
Pod racing.
Whoa!
Did you ever play the pod racing N64 game though?
Oh
dude,
yeah, dude.
Such a good game. It's still probably not so much fun to play nowadays.
Honestly,
it's dated as hell, but back then it was amazing.
Yeah, if they added a pod racing DLC to the Starfighter game that EA came out with the other couple years ago or whatever, fucking, I'd be in it, man.
Dude, a modern pod racing game would be freaking awesome.
Dude, like,
with the technology where it is.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Speaking of technology, not to change the subject so
this is
quickly.
a tech podcast, by the way. There is that.
Dude, I saw a video on TikTok, I think it was, and I could probably find it on YouTube, but it was Skyrim made in Unreal 5, and oh my freaking
It probably
God.
looks amazing, does it not?
Oh my God, it's not even fair.
You thought Skyrim mods were great. Hold the phone.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm gonna link this right here, and you can we can either show it or not. You could probably show it in the podcast just without sound and stuff. But holy crap.
Hold on. All right, so I'm gonna watch it. Hold on a second.
This. Look
at this shit. All right, I'm pressing play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Yeah, the music.
There's music.
And just like this is Dawnstar, which is one of the villages in Skyrim. But my God. Like it looks like a real little village.
Why are you breathing so hard now?
Oh man. So good.
So while we're sitting here watching this, right? Like this does look incredible. It could look better. It could look better than this.
Of course.
No, I'm serious. Like because Unreal Engine 5.1 just came out, and 5.1 they've redone water and stuff. So all that water, you see how it kind of looks basic? It could look better than that.
I believe it.
But like still, it looks amazing. Like the ray tracing, and ambient occlusions. Dude, the Borealis. It's so cool.
Oh my god. Yeah. No, it's pretty sick. Like, and you.
Oh my god, it's actually a thing. Oh my gosh. He's actually walking around it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people are making like little demonstrations.
Now, if he just goes
like that,
all of a sudden you just see a sword and a shield, and he goes like Vusro da. Yeah, and it just shit fucking explodes. I'm gonna bust a nut. If he does that, I'm just gonna lose my shit.
This right here on podcast. And we don't have to sit here and watch the whole thing. I think you get the gist of it from a little bit there. But like, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I'm watching this whole thing. You sit, you wait.
Okay.
I'm waiting for him to go Fusro Da. Maybe I might be getting blue balled right now. I don't know.
I think you might be.
All right.
I think you might be. Well, I'm just.
Yeah. So he just has the landscape and there's snowdrops falling. You see that? He's got a snow asset in there. That's pretty cool.
I will say that the snow on the ground and on the buildings and stuff looks freaking awesome. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't look super great. Like, I can see some of but it looks better than what we have now, essentially.
Oh yeah. See, this is what like they keep. So here's my opinion. This is a hot take. All right, I'm pausing the video. I'm pausing it. Hot take.
You do what you gotta do.
They need to stop re-releasing fucking Skyrim. Stop it,
dude. What about if it was like this though? I would buy it again if it was like this. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yeah, exactly. The only next version of Skyrim or Elder Scrolls that I'm gonna buy is either Elder Scrolls 6,
yes,
or
obviously
Elder Scrolls 5 Remastered, where it's remastered in Unreal Engine. Screw the creation engine.
They won't do it. They won't go away from the creation engine. They haven't yet. Why? And they aren't going to in 6.
I think what they're doing with the creation engine. Well, so here's a thing. Like, Starfield's going to be a big determining factor on whether or not I feel like Starfield's going to be a big like can the creation engine pull it off moment.
Okay.
I think that's going to be a thing. Okay. And if it pulls it off, more power to them. Okay, sure. Cool. You actually took this absolutely heckin' ancient game engine and you're making it work.
I mean, if they can update it, I'm sure it could continue to
I'm
thrive.
willing to bet you they probably work with Epic and all that kind of stuff, because you remember they had a showcase like years ago and there was like little clips of like the next Elder Scrolls. Like, some dude was making like a landscape or something, and he was talking about like HDR 3D renders and like scanning environments and stuff like that. And then not too long after that, those same features came to Unreal Engine. And then like a year later, Unreal 5 got announced, like, oh, these are gonna be like yada yada, and then they showed that demo of like the girl running through the desert and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got a feeling they're probably working with Epic to update their game engine to where it could use Unreal assets. I've never used Creation Engine, but in my brief experience with the Unreal Engine and stuff, there was a lot of things there that looked familiar to me, but also different.
Well, I'm sure a lot of inspiration is pulled from one thing to another.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know which one came first. I think Creation Engine might be older than Unreal Engine. Don't quote me on anything. I don't know. This is a podcast. That'd be
something to. We try to keep things light, not necessarily accurate.
Yeah, light and fun doesn't equal accurate.
I mean, I can look that up.
No, you can't. Don't look it up.
Okay, I won't.
All right. Just
I'm
think
having
of your
actually-
retinas, Jared. Just think of your retinas.
Actually, I'm having a hard time getting to my keyboard around my freaking microphone to type, so I'm just like, screw it.
Do you
The
have your
microphone's
microphone on your desk?
Well, it's a boom arm thing, but it is connected to the corner of my desk because I don't have anywhere else to attach it.
I see. I just mounted mine to my wall.
I live in an apartment. I can't be mounting stuff to my walls. They don't even like me putting tacks in the wall, which I don't care. I'm gonna do it anyways.
Okay.
Just saying.
Yeah, no, that's totally viable. 100%. Yeah. I get it. And you don't want to like command strip it to the wall with like the Velcro bullshit or whatever. Not with with a couple $100 microphone that like while it's boomed out like this far it weighs a crap ton.
That's not happening. That's not
that makes sense. Yeah. I'd love to hook my boom arm to my ceiling. And just have it to where it's like just here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
I do have
I just attach mine to my wall. It works pretty well. Yeah.
I don't know. I might try to figure something out at some point, but it's really not a priority. This works currently, so.
Okay.
Just
All right.
saying.
Do we need to finish watching the Skyrim thing? I don't think we need to. I mean, I get the idea. It looks great.
Yeah.
So So here's the thing, right? So I made a map today yesterday in Unreal Engine, and this map's freaking huge. It's probably the size of the Skyrim, like Elder Scrolls 5, right? Map is probably that size, if not close.
Did you do it on stream?
Yeah, it took me like 4 hours to do it, to get the base like terrain and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why don't it's not that large of amount of time. I know I'm only just like scratching the surface, but like it's definitely a feasible task with a normal human's amount of time that they have, right? So like, I don't understand why there's not Skyrim map like conversions or shit like that where it's just in Unreal Engine. Maybe that's a copyright issue, IP issue thing, or
well, so here's the thing. There's something,
because it looks so good.
There's something that NVIDIA is doing. RTX. Oh, what is it called? It's some kind of thing that they're going to be using. And one of the examples was like, it essentially converted like Morrowind, OG Morrowind. And it was like it used AI to convert the game to like RTX everything without having to do anything. It just it created it.
So that's how Unreal. That's how Unreal works. NVIDIA probably made that
using
plugin
it as an example.
Yeah. So like in Unreal, it's called Lumen or whatever, where it's just like ray tracing. Bam. It's just active ray tracing.
RTX Remix is what it's called.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a thing that is available at the currently.
Oh, you're talking about this other thing. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about now. I thought you was talking about like lighting. It's like a skin that goes over the actual game. Like it actually changes assets in the game using
but
AI.
it does it like it just does it like it just works.
Don't you Todd me. Don't Todd me.
This is cool. Like on this, here, I'll just send this to you.
Yeah, shoot me the link. That way we can link to it in the description.
Yeah, I mean, this is a fairly
below.
interactive web page because you can scroll to the right and see everything with what it looks like with RTX on, and then scroll to the left, or vice versa, and see with the original game with what it looks like. It's pretty cool.
So many tabs.
Like I would.
You see how it's changing the assets? So like if you have the scroll on the right of the screen and then keep your eye on the banisters, the stairs and stuff like that, as you go over them, it's physically changing that asset. Like that is a different asset. But it knows that asset is there And so it just is just like, all right, well, let's just change it.
Yeah.
Like it sees it and it just instantly updates it. Same thing with the chair assets and all the garbage on the table. Like it's just adding extra. It recognizes table and it's probably like put garbage on table. Right?
Right.
And
But
then you see, like, as you go further to the left of that staircase, there's actually a pot there when there wasn't one there before. So so what's happening is probably they're using ray tracing to find spaces to fill. They're using ray tracing to like put light in the scene, right? So anytime ray tracing happens, it's hitting something and bouncing off and then going to a different place, right? So it knows the math. Like it knows, like you could ray trace a room and know exactly what that room looks like because you have the math of all the points. It's almost like sonar, right? Or radar or whatever. Like it's hitting it and then bouncing. So it knows where it hits and then bounces, right? So you can like have lighting in a room, say, okay, ray trace this room, bam. And then it knows exactly what that room is, what it looks like. And then at that point, what they're probably doing is saying, all right, identify these areas that have nothing in it. Now put these items that'll fit in that space in that thing. Right? Like next to those
procedural algorithm or something.
Yeah, like next to those stairs, it's like, all right, there's a space here that's this big that has nothing in it. Let's put this pot here. Right? And probably there's like, you probably got like game devs that are going through and like in each room, they're like identifying like useless zones, like things that are not relative, like things that are not important to like the actual gameplay. They're just eye candy or whatever. Like garbage on top of that table, right? Like nothing was on that table. Candles and books were on that table. You look, when you ray trace it and look back, the books are still there. The candles are still there. But there's like a wine bottle. Well, the wine bottle was there. But that thing on the corner, that wasn't there before. Now it's there. So it recognized empty space and it's like, hey, there's empty space here. Do you want me to put something here? And you say yes. And it just puts gobbledygook that probably doesn't matter. See, that's a thing, right? So if it put that item there, like historically in Elder Scroll games, you've been able to pick up every single freaking thing and like loot goblin it into your body, right? For the most part.
More or less.
Is that item going to be able to be picked up? Is that an actual item in the game that I can manipulate, or is that just eye candy that I can't move? That I can't interact with?
There was a lot less prevalent in like Morrowind. Like, yeah, you could pick stuff up, but there wasn't like physics associated with those items. You could like click and drag and it shows the little item going like you're holding it or whatever. Like you couldn't do that in Morrowind. So,
and that's why Morrowind sucked.
I will fight you.
The ceiling actually looks pretty interesting too. I'm noticing that's different. That's just a texture change. That's just a texture change with a 3D model added to it. Yeah, but like, dude, like literally, like it just looks so good with ray tracing on it. Like they did that demo. Oh, when was it? It was a demo they did. I want to say it was with Unreal Tournament or something like that. Like one of those old like arena shooters where it's just like whatever.
I know what Unreal Tournament is.
All they did was just add ray tracing to it. And it was like a couple years ago, right? They just added ray tracing lights and shadows to it. Made the game run at 60 FPS. A game from like the early 2000s, late 90s, whatever. Could only run at like 60 FPS. But it looked amazing. Everything was flat, right? Like you still had the flat walls and no like 3D models and all that stuff. But like the difference that lighting and shadows makes on just like the believability of an environment is fucking huge, dude. It's huge, brother.
Well, I mean, that's the majority, like the biggest mods for like Skyrim right now. Like, remember I was trying to walk you through or tell you about the EMB mods.
Yeah.
Most of that is just like it's changing light and shadows and how it is perceived and affected in the world, and it completely changes your everything from
Okay.
the shadows on plants to like the water, even like the waves and everything. Like I'm sure it's much more than that. My knowledge is very limited where it comes to the actual workings. That's more your purview than mine. You'd probably be more interested in figuring out how that stuff works. I just want it to work and to not crash my game.
Okay. So this is the moment where we have our weekly Jared mod number update. How many mods you got installed? I need to be able to put this tag on the video. Like, how many mods you got? Like, we're talking about Skyrim mods. Bam. That's a very popular tag.
God damn it.
Tell me.
Hold on. I gotta. This is bright too. Load. Load. Come on. Why are you taking so long? What is going on? This has so many. So right now I'm currently sitting at 330.
Shit's weak. Do better.
Last time I tried to do better, I made my game unplayable and had to start over.
I'm just messing with you, man. I'm just messing with you.
I'm just saying. Remember, like I talked about.
Yeah, you were like, oh, I'm up to like 370 or 400 mods. And then all of a sudden it's like, I deleted everything and started over.
Yep. Let's not talk about Skyrim mods. I feel silly talking about Skyrim mods every goddamn podcast that we do.
Hey, this is
like I've got nothing interesting going in my
this
on
is
in my
your
life.
hobby,
Skyrim
man.
mods.
This is your hobby, Mr. MXC mods.
I feel like you're referring to MXR.
Is it MXR? I thought it was MXC.
There might be an MXC. I don't know.
Hell, I don't know, man. It's been so long.
There's so many Skyrim modding YouTube channels out there. It's ridiculous. What is this?
Nothing. You said you didn't want to talk about Skyrim mods, so we're not going to talk about it.
Oh, that's fine. Have you been seeing kind of the God of War reviews and stuff like that? Like it doesn't seem like it's doing too well. Like a lot of people seem pretty disappointed in it, man.
No. Time out. I've been doing my best. I've been doing my damnedest to not hear, see, or interact with anything that's God of War. Like at most.
Are you saving yourself for God of War?
I'm saving myself for when it comes out on PC, okay? At most, I've seen like thumbnails, and I've like watched one spoiler-free review that was just like masterpiece, and like that was it. And I was just like, okay.
Okay. I was just curious.
I was just like, that's all I needed to do. I can't believe that it's like, I don't believe that people are just like, this game sucks. I think those people are just being clickbaity.
It could be. I was just curious about your thoughts if you had seen anything on it, because I've only seen a few things here and there.
Yeah, like I haven't been looking, right? Like I haven't clicked on stuff just for the reason that I don't want my cookies to tell Google to like, he's interested in God of War. Wow, let's show him all this stuff. Like I just haven't clicked on. I clicked on one thing, and then once that happened, I clicked on a bunch of other random ass stuff that had no context to it. That way, it didn't think that I wanted to watch that.
That's fair. I won't bring it up again.
Well, no, you could bring it up. I'm just saying, like, I don't know anything. Like, I can't. Well, I don't either. So,
all
right. Well, you need to go play it. Go buy you a PlayStation 5 and play it.
Yeah, look away. You know already the absurdity of that comment.
You know what you said. You know.
And to be honest, though, even if I had the opportunity to get one, I don't think I would.
What, a PlayStation 5? Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
I
not a console-
wholehearted. I have the capability to get it and stuff like that. Like, I'm not gonna get it one.
Yeah, I'm not a console gamer.
Yeah.
Like I can't sit there with a controller in my hand, even though I have a controller and I use it occasionally. But just like, I don't know. Like, I have a PlayStation 4 with a bunch of games that I never, some of them I haven't played at all.
Yeah.
And some of them I barely touched. Like The Last of Us 2, I barely played. Other stuff too that I can't think of, but yeah, just not a console gamer. Like, even the Switch. I dig the Switch, but like, I just can't.
Yeah.
I need a mouse and I need a keyboard.
Like, I pick up like a controller and I'm just like, oh god, like freaking, this is such a barbarous input.
it's like freaking Obi-Wan Kenobi. So uncivilized and throws it away. That's me with a controller, except.
Yeah,
which is so weird because it used to be the other way around. Because like when I was younger, I couldn't afford a nice computer.
Yeah, like a controller is the way. Yeah,
yeah. With Halo, Call of Duty, and stuff like that, it was all controller.
It was all controller. Yeah, 100%. And then I like found the glory of a mouse.
Yeah,
I did. I will say though that there are certain games like. I've like Monster Hunter World. We played Monster Hunter World together. Some people may not know that, but we did. Like, I've played Monster Hunter World mouse and keyboard and controller. Mouse and keyboard's dumb on that game. Like, just don't do it.
Right.
Like,
well,
I've
some
done
games
it.
that are just designed with controller, you know. That...
Like, whoever made up the keybinds for that game, they don't play on computers.
Right.
They don't use a computer. They don't have hands that lay on a keyboard.
They don't have hands, period.
they don't have hands. They just got little stumps that can hold a controller. Yeah, like I'm not a console person either. Like, I have an Xbox Series X and a S, right? Well, my wife has the S. She bought it for her business because she does gaming therapy and stuff. And we have the X in the living room, and it's like our entertainment box. And plus, like, she's a console gamer. She prefers to play on console.
Yeah.
Even though, like, her big hang up on playing on PC is not being able to talk with her friend and like be in party chat and game with her friend. Like, that's the big thing.
Right, because all of her friends are also console gamers.
They're on Xbox. Yeah, they're also console gamers on Xbox. But I will say, like, I feel like Microsoft here in the next year or so is going to make it to where it just doesn't fucking matter. Like, they're already close, right? Where you could crossplay between PC and Xbox.
Yeah.
Or PC and console. But, like, there's still the element of, like, the console app for PC. What it's doing is emulating the Xbox chat bull crap. Well, if you remember, I don't know if you know this, but if you remember, like, I think it was like a year or so ago, maybe like 2 years ago, something like that, Microsoft bought Discord.
Oh, did I know
like,
that?
I'm pretty sure they own Discord. I may be wrong in this, but like, even so, like, they showed interest in Discord.
Right.
Are you fact checking me?
I am gonna look that one up because I am legitimately curious.
Okay. All right. So, like, here's the thing. Like, if they own Discord is the gaming, like, communication app. Like, imagine Discord integrated into a console to where you could just interact with it. I'm willing to bet you in the next year or so, there's probably already a downloadable Discord app, but I'm willing to bet you it'll just come pre-installed in the Microsoft ecosystem. And anytime you're going through a chat party or something like that, you're just in Discord. And then people on PC can join and unjoin those Discord calls and stuff like that. I'm willing to bet you that's what's going to happen.
So I think currently Discord is still privately owned.
Oh, yeah.
By Jason Citron, who I think founded it.
Yeah.
But scrolling down, I am seeing, and I don't feel like clicking on it and reading it, but it does seem like there is perhaps Microsoft is in talks with him to acquire it. So that is a possibility Actually, no, I'm gonna click on that, but Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, I regret it. I'm gonna too much. Let's
Do we
just
need to
assume.
add do we need to add a retina burn counter?
Yes, please. Like ding ding. And
Comment section. Let us know
here.
if we need to add a retina burn counter to the podcast. Currently, we're at like 7, I think. I'm just guessing now.
Well, it says Microsoft wanted to purchase the company outright for a rumored $12 billion. Ultimately unsuccessful. Sources told Bloomberg that Discord rejected Microsoft's bids in hopes that it would achieve a public listing on a stock market.
Okay. So they didn't buy it. So, but the thing is like they were willing to purchase it for $12 billion. And it's not just for like Xbox, right? Like that's the premier, it's the premier communication app for anybody that's not a professional. And for some people that are professionals that don't need security like check marks, right? Because like if you're doing like medical stuff, you can't just use Discord, right? If you're doing like top secret stuff, you just can't use Discord because they log things, and for certain clearance levels and also for certain legalities of like medical security, like doctor-patient confidentiality and bullshit like that, you gotta have it in writing like, hey, this is compliant to these qualifications dictated by this group of people that are employed by the government or something like that, right? Like you gotta have things like that. Like it's gotta be like HIPAA compliant and fucking blah, 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 and all that kind of BS.
Right.
So
but it is the thing to use for
the
majority of the normal average people.
Yeah, like if honestly, like I just tell my wife, like it is my preferred method of communication. She keeps trying to, like, she shoots me emails and stuff like that. I'm just like, just shoot it to me in Discord. Like, why? Like, just send it to me in Discord. It's like, but I'm just gonna send it to you in an email. All right, fine.
A what?
Hey, if that's what you're comfortable with. Like, honestly, like email is so outdated.
Oh, it is.
It's so outdated. It just does not like function. Like, you tried to email me that freaking thing last week. Just couldn't be bothered to do it, right?
Nope.
I mean, and I'm not saying you could have sent it to me in Discord, but you could have, like, the thing that you would have been able to do is uploaded it to YouTube and then just shot me the link to it. Or like we just
re-download it.
And then I just re-download it. That way I could edit it. But then at that point you've added compression and all that bullshit from the internet to it. But like, I mean, it's video for a podcast. Really it doesn't really matter. Right? Like it doesn't need to be 8K quality or anything like that. Like hell, you're sitting here watching me at like 720p anyway. I'm watching you at 360p. Yeah, you look like you're right out of Minecraft. I thought your name was Steve for a second.
It's recording that way then.
Yeah, I thought your name was Steve, man. I'm sorry. That's what I thought.
No.
On top of your colors being off because it's HDR, I thought your name was Steve.
No.
I guess I'm gonna have to learn how to color correct in DaVinci Resolve now.
We just don't have HDR. Like, who even cares?
I care because I'm the one that looks at it. Dude, like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Once you go HDR and you see like the colors and the contrast and the brightness and it's just the blacks are just black and the brights are retina singeing and shit like that. Oh, it's just so good. It's just so good. Yeah, whatever.
I do need to get a new monitor though.
Yeah, I definitely would recommend a 1440p HDR monitor. It's a decent price. It's an attainable price range, and you get value for your purchase. The resolution's good.
With a nice refresh rate.
Yeah, I would like mine's a 165 hertz. Like the GPU that I just bought, which is a fairly moderate, like a 6800 XT that I have overclocked. Like some games it can hit 65 165 FPS. Most games, it averages around like 90 FPS.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I'll just hard cap it at either 60 or 90, something that's a derivative of 30 FPS, because I'm usually streaming it or capturing it, and then I just let it ride, dude. Like 90 FPS is totally fine.
What do you think of these 40 series cards? They're out. I didn't even realize it.
Yeah, no, they're out, and they're way too expensive. They're
so expensive.
Like their price does not justify their quality.
Yeah, no.
Like honestly, like I can't wait for the AMD cards to come out just to see how strong they are. Because here's the thing about the AMD cards, right? So the AMD, like even my card, right? So the 6800 XT, we'll use my card as an example. 6800 XT is equivalent to, I want to say it was equivalent to like a 3070 Ti or like a 3080. Like it was in that performance tier kind of right there, but it was priced like just a regular 3070, right? So it was priced to compete with that card, but it had performance of a 3070 Ti or a 3080, right? So, but if you overclock it, right? When you undervolt it and overclock it, it actually can get up to near 3090 performance levels. Like near 3090, depending on what you're doing. Like depending on your task, like if you're doing like rendering or if you're doing like what game you're doing, like another tick on the counter.
Just want to look at video cards on Newegg. I don't want to be blinded while I'm doing it.
Yeah, no, like are you looking at the 4090 and the 4080s? Dude, like they're ridiculous. Like if you don't have $1,500, don't even look at it.
Yeah, and like the price difference between a 3090 Ti and a 4090 Ti, like there's almost no difference, and it's like, why is the 3090 Ti still so expensive? Like it's bull crap.
So here's the thing, though.
They're trying to get people to be like, why would you spend $1,500 on a 3090 when you could spend $1,600 on a 4090?
Yeah.
When in fact the 3090 should be half the price it actually is right now because the 4090s are out.
You know what's funny? The 3090 Ti's before, like the 4080s are just a little bit better than the 3090 Ti.
Yeah, I know. That's how it goes. That's why like I don't upgrade from like one card to like the next iteration, because the difference is so insignificant.
Oh yeah.
I usually will wait a couple of generations to actually,
Like before I bought this GPU that's in this computer, like I was running a 1080 Ti, right? Like a 1080 Ti was doing everything I needed to do until I upgraded my monitor to a 1440p monitor, right? And then at that point, I noticed that it couldn't do the things I want. I couldn't run things on high anymore, because like my bar was like run things on high quality at 60 FPS, because that's that was the refresh rate of my monitor, and also I was streaming all the time, so like that was like 60 FPS, bam. And then once I upgraded to a 1440p monitor, I was in the realm of like medium to high or custom high settings and stuff like that at 60 FPS, and then it would dip down to like 45 FPS. Like it couldn't deal with it, right? So I was just like, screw it, I'll upgrade now. Because this computer eventually, once, probably next year or something like that, this computer is going to go out in the living room / garage, and I'm going to build another computer for in here, and it's going to be my next, like that's going to be my computer for like the next 5 years. Because that's the only way, like literally that's the only way you can justify the purchase of it. Because you're talking about something that costs like $3,000 to $4,000, and that's not even for like tier. That's not even for custom water cooled. That's just like the high end parts, right? Like high end GPU, high end CPU, motherboard, memory, box to put it all in. Like $3,000 is kind of average. The average price for that. you can go mid-tier for about 2,400, 2,000, or you can go low end. Like your low end. Go ahead.
$2,000 on mine, I think.
Yeah, so you got like your GPU was a 3060, right, or something like that.
TI.
Yeah, so you got a
TI.
Whoa, that TI, bud. Whoa. But like at the time,
information accurate.
At the time you bought that,
down.
the 3060 Ti was like $1,000. Because that was when GPU prices were like up in the air, right?
Yep.
So you bought that like you needed it, but you did kind of buy it when it was overpriced.
Yeah.
But like I said,
I was tired of waiting.
Yeah, there's nothing you could really have done about it because you needed one. But like now, why not get one for like dirt cheap? Like literally, you could probably. How much can you buy a 3090 for now? Like a 3090 Ti.
They're still like $1,500 or more. Yeah, like well here, like first one on Newegg right here, $1,900, $1,500, $2,000, $2,500. Like,
there's no reason to buy that.
There's no reason. And here's the sad part.
There's no reason.
You want to know what the price is for a 3080 Ti? $1,300, $1,400, $1,300. Where are these numbers coming from?
You know what? AMD's
3080 Ti should be under $1,000.
You know what AMD's new card is going to be? The high-end card that they're coming out with is going to be $1,000.
Yeah,
the one that should compete with like at least a 4080 or a 4090. It's going to be $1,000, and it's going to crush every fucking NVIDIA GPU out there, except for like a 4090, maybe a 4080. The one right below it. So that was the whole thing I was talking about with the 6800 XT, right? So that thing overclocks like a freaking beast, right? And it's three levels below the highest end one, right? It's like 3 or 4 levels below the highest end one of its generation. So if this new stuff comes out, you can buy like they're coming out with the $1,000 card, which is like the high end one, and then the one right below it, like you got the XTX version, and then you got like the XT version. And the XT version is going to be $900, right?
Right.
So if I can get the XT version and just overclock it, and it gives me the same performance as like a 4090, like fuck NVIDIA, dude. Like screw them. They can just freaking eat one. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like literally, the only advantage NVIDIA has is their ray tracing technology, right? Which AMD's catching up, but they're still not there yet. They're freaking like FSR and like where they like simulate frames and like DLSS and all that, whatever that stuff is. The AI, the AI space is what like. They're working on it, right? They're working on it. Like, they're not quite there yet. And then you got, like, their encode, which their encode has came a long way. Like, using OBS to, like, record shit, like, using your GPU to encode things instead of your CPU in OBS and stuff like that. So, they're almost there, but, like, in actual game performance, like, traditional, like, rasterization and, like, traditional, like, making a game look good. Right, they're pound for pound right there with them, right? And their cost is kind of reasonable for their value. Like their cost versus what you get is reasonable. I know like $1,000 for a GPU is like oh shit, what the fuck? But I paid $1,000 for a 1080 Ti back in 2017, and that was the high end GPU at that time. Maybe it was 2018. I don't know. But that was the high-end GPU at that time. Granted, back then it was another crypto freaking yada yada was going on. Right. And like I saw it was on sale and I was just like, fucking get that. And it was a Zotac card. They're really not the best, but it still worked, right? So like I've had that card for 5 years. well, that was $1,000 purchase over 5 years. It's only $200 a year.
Yeah.
I've paid $200 for a pretty good GPU for the past $200 every year for a pretty good GPU. And it's finally starting to show its
For
age.
quality entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just looking at the Radeon 6950.
Yeah. The 6950. Yeah, 6950 XT is the last generation's best one.
Oh, is that not? What's the most current one?
Are you looking at GPUs or CPU?
GPU.
You're looking at GPU. So the one that's about to come out is the 7000 series.
Okay, but that's not out yet.
That's not out yet.
So,
Right now,
6950 is the best one you could get.
that is the high end, like big veiny triumphant GPU from AMD right now.
And what would you compare that to for NVIDIA? 3080,
I would say-
3090?
I would say like no, that card's like right around a 3090 level of performance, if not a little bit less. But that's just factory, like not overclocking.
And I was seeing those cards on Newegg. Some of them less than $1,000.
Yeah. Because everybody knows that AMD's about to come out with some cards.
But that's the thing, like you could get a 3090 Ti, spend $1,500, or go get the Radeon AMD equivalent for so much less.
Yeah.
I don't use ray tracing on anything. I don't care about that.
Yeah, I don't use ray tracing either, but I will say this, like ray tracing, it's my opinion, ray tracing's the next step. Ray tracing is the next AA, right? Anti-aliasing. You remember when like anti-aliasing was like a big ass thing? It's like,
I
oh,
remember when bump mapping was a big thing.
Like, oh, these textures have ripples in them. Oh
Yeah.
my god,
Dude, I remember the original Halo, watching like a tech demonstration of it, and they were talking about bump mapping, and I was like, that's freaking brilliant. It's so
this is
cool.
the future.
It was, and it was, you know, like it was a stepping stone to what we have now. But like, you know,
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think ray tracing's the next bump maps. It's the next bump maps. All right, it's the next
it's
normal
the next
map.
God rays.
Yeah, it's the next God rays, lens flare, whatever you want to call it. All right,
I'm
then
sure
once,
it is.
like it will get figured out, and both manufacturers will be able to do it, and they'll have to find something else to compete over. And then it'll probably be like DLSS. Like ray tracing and DLSS are like the next two big things. Whoever does both of them the best will win. It'll probably be NVIDIA because they have a head start on AMD because, you know, AMD's had its thumb up its butt for the past like 5 years. But it's been trying. It's been making leaps and strides in the CPU market, but not the GPU market.
Well, I got hopes for them, especially if they can produce some affordable GPUs.
That's how they're gonna have to like win. But like make no mistake, like they will hike their prices up once they catch up. They've showed that they're gonna do it. They've done it in the CPU market. Like they're up there freaking putting the pounded on Intel, and they're starting to hike their prices up. They're now comparable, like their performance is comparable to Intel, and now their prices are. So if not a little bit more actually.
Damn it.
But it's making Intel be competitive. It's making Intel be competitive with its pricing. They're dropping their pricing. So now this is the moment for CPUs where the consumer is going to benefit as long as they don't have like brand loyalty garbage in their head. Like as long as they're like, I'm an AMD boy through and through. Like as long as you're not like that, you're gonna come out on top. As far as a consumer,
I'm on team spend as less money as I can.
Then that's the right team to be on.
Unfortunately, I wish I was on the other team where money was no object and I could get whatever the heck I wanted. But unfortunately, I live in reality.
Yeah, and bill collectors are people that you have to deal with. Debt is a thing, and it sucks.